Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a political drama that could give any South African soapie a run for its money. Two of South Africa's most influential leaders since the dawn of democracy, former President Thabo Mbeki and current President Cyril Ramaphosa, are reportedly at loggerheads over something that was meant to unite the nation, a much-anticipated national debate on the country's deepening crises. What started as a hopeful plan to bring the two together for a constructive, solutions-driven dialogue has turned into a political tug-of-war, with both men pulling in different directions and neither willing to loosen their grip. Now, let's be clear. This debate was originally billed as a rare and symbolic moment. Imagine it, the calm, intellectual Mbeki facing the measured but determined Ramaphosa, exchanging ideas on how to address South Africa's mounting unemployment, rampant corruption, collapsing service delivery, and growing protests. The whole point was to create a united front that could reassure citizens and remind the world that the ruling ANC could still rally around the nation's problems. But instead of that idealistic vision, what we have now is a dispute that's making headlines before a single word has even been spoken on stage. From what's emerging, Mbeki is unhappy with the debate's current format, one that seems to give the presidency more control over the agenda, the participants, and even the public narrative that will follow. For years, Mbeki has positioned himself as a champion of inclusive dialogue. He's the type who believes that if you're going to talk about the nation's problems, you can't leave out the voices of civil society, grassroots movements, and independent experts. He wants a platform where everyone from taxi association leaders to rural community activists can weigh in, not just government ministers and a carefully curated guest list. Ramaphosa, on the other hand, appears to be looking for something more streamlined, a government-led process that keeps the focus tight, avoids endless sidetracks, and, importantly, delivers tangible results instead of dissolving into a never-ending talk shop. To him, the debate is not a town hall meeting, it's a targeted intervention to produce a concrete action plan. His office is reportedly concerned that if too many groups are allowed in, the discussion will become unmanageable and lose focus on urgent priorities. And this is where the friction kicks in. Sources close to Mbeki suggest that he sees Ramaphosa's approach as more about control than efficiency, a way of limiting dissent and ensuring the presidency shapes the outcome. In private, he's allegedly warned allies that this could turn the whole thing into a political showpiece rather than an honest, sometimes uncomfortable confrontation with reality. Meanwhile, insiders from the presidency hint that Mbeki's demands could derail planning, blow up the budget, and overshadow the very issues the debate is meant to address. While the two men exchange polite public silence, the political undertones are hard to ignore. Both are towering figures within the ANC, and their disagreement feeds into a wider narrative of a party struggling to manage internal disputes while governing a country in crisis. The optics are not great. South Africa is facing record unemployment levels, protests are becoming more frequent and more desperate, and the ANC itself is under increasing pressure to prove it can still lead effectively. The last thing it needs is for its two elder statesmen to be seen publicly divided. Political analyst Simone Khumalo warns that the public could quickly lose confidence in the process if it's perceived as a personal power struggle rather than a sincere attempt to fix the nation's problems. And he's not wrong. South Africans have seen enough political grandstanding to know when leaders are more focused on outmaneuvering each other than delivering results. The danger here is that the debate could be dismissed as political theater before it even begins, undermining its legitimacy. It's worth remembering that this is not just about two personalities. This clash reflects the broader tensions within the ANC itself, a battle between those who want a more open, grassroots-oriented approach to policymaking and those who prefer a more centralized, top-down method. Both philosophies have their merits, but when they collide in the public arena, it risks overshadowing any substantive policy discussion. And yet, there's also a kind of tragic irony in all of this. The debate is supposed to be about bringing people together to tackle urgent national challenges, but the process of organizing it has already revealed how fractured the political landscape really is. It's almost poetic, in a Shakespearean kind of way, except with fewer soliloquies and more press leaks. Observers are now watching closely to see whether Mbeki and Ramaphosa can put aside their differences for the greater good. Will they walk onto that stage later this year as partners in problem solving, or will the tension be so thick you could slice it with a parliamentary motion? Because make no mistake, if they can't work together even for the optics, the public will take notice, and the ANC's claims of unity will sound hollow. In the meantime, the country waits. Ordinary citizens, those same people struggling with load shedding, potholes, joblessness, and skyrocketing food prices, are hoping that when the debate finally happens, it will be more than just a polished performance for the cameras. They want honesty. They want real answers. And they want leaders who can rise above personal politics to actually get things done. But if this rocky build-up is anything to go by, we might have to brace ourselves for a debate where the most memorable moments aren't the solutions offered, but the subtle jabs and political posturing between two men whose legacies are already etched into South African history. In other words, prepare the popcorn. What do you think? Will this be the great national conversation we've been promised, or just another chapter in the ANC's long-running internal drama? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective matters, and we'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.